The Anthony Davis to the Celtics rumors are back. And of course they are, now that Kyrie Irving came on and said that he's going to be staying with the Celtics long term. I mean, why wouldn't they be? And get this, we are now getting reports out saying that both Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving have discussed playing together for the Celtics in the future. And right off the rip, just based off that article title alone, I have some thoughts about this report. Before I give you guys my thoughts, let me at least share with you guys what this article had to say. Alright, so these reports come to us from The Athletic's Jay King, as he was quoted saying this: "The rumblings about Anthony Davis joining the Celtics are more than just fan pipe dreaming. Davis and Irving have apparently discussed the possibility of playing together in Boston. And league sources told King that they believe Davis will end up with either the Celtics or the Lakers if he doesn't want to sign a long-term deal with the Pelicans." Alright, like I said, right after reading that article headline, a few thoughts popped into my mind. And the first thought that came to my mind was that this article sounds extremely familiar, or at least the title of the article and what it's saying sounds extremely familiar to some other articles that I had read this summer. Except instead of Anthony Davis, it was about Jimmy Butler. Remember back when the reporters were swearing that Jimmy Butler and Kyrie Irving had discussed and were planning to team up somewhere in the Eastern Conference to form their own super team after this season? You guys had to remember that. It was everywhere. And those kind of reports ring a similar bell to these kind of reports. And we all know how that's looking like it's going to turn out. Doesn't look like that's gonna happen. That being said, I'm also not putting this out of the realm of possibility that Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis maybe did at some point discuss playing together on the Boston Celtics or just in general. But even if they did, I don't think it was anything too serious. If they ever talked about this, it was most likely a real quick discussion, and then after that, it was never brought up again. Especially since time and time again, Anthony Davis has stated his desire to stay with the New Orleans Pelicans, that he wants to be kind of like Tim Duncan, play with the same team that drafted him his whole career and hopefully win a championship with the same team that drafted him. But then again, Anthony Davis isn't going to be a free agent until the summer of 2021. So who knows, if by then the Pelicans still aren't any better than they are right now and they're still viewed as a first or second round exit in the Western Conference, Davis might be fed up and knows, yo, I ain't going nowhere with this team. It's time for me to leave. And if that happens, then I can for sure see both the Celtics and the Lakers being the front runners to land him. Where are all of the Carmelo Anthony fans out there? What very few of you there seem to be left. That's okay, because to the ones that are still there, you guys already know that you are the real ones. You guys are the most loyal Carmelo Anthony fans out there. Maybe a bit too loyal, but still. Alright, so it's only been 2 preseason games so far, but already the Houston Rockets are praising and are so excited about what Carmelo Anthony's been able to bring to the table so far, with their GM Daryl Morey even saying that Carmelo Anthony is still an extremely talented player and that he's about to have one of the best seasons that he's had in a while with the Rockets. While Chris Paul, on the other hand, just couldn't believe the amount of disrespect that Carmelo Anthony was having put on his name in the first place. The disrespect that comes at him is unbelievable, you know what I mean? So for us, having one of the best players to ever play the game on our team, that's a no-brainer. And says that with all the smart basketball minds that they have in Houston, that they're for sure going to find a way to make this work. I think that's up for all of us, you know, some of the smartest guys to play the game, to figure out how to make it work. I am in no way a believer that Carmelo Anthony is about to average 20 to 25 points per game this year, or that he will look like prime Melo again and be one of the most deadly offensive players in the league. But from what I have seen in the preseason, at least so far, he's already looking a lot better with the Rockets than he did with the Thunder last year. Not that he could have looked any worse than he did with the Thunder last year. And I believe that's probably because he does have 3 offensive masterminds on his side. It's going to be kind of hard for him to be bad when he's playing alongside James Harden, Chris Paul, and has Mike D'Antoni as his head coach. As for the disrespect part of Carmelo Anthony, the disrespect that Carmelo Anthony's been getting over the past year or so, well, I think he pretty much brought that on himself. The man refused to even try coming off the bench for the Thunder last year to see if that would have helped the team. I don't think a lot of fans are gonna take pity on a guy like that when he does something like that. So I'm guessing that the Miami Heat have finally bowed out of the Jimmy Butler trade discussions, at least for now, since they know the Wolves are just on games and aren't taking any of this serious. They're not gonna be able to come to a reasonable trade agreement for Jimmy Butler. So now, with that being the case, another challenger is approaching, and from the sound of things, they might be about to suffer the same fate that the Miami Heat have suffered. But anyways, the Los Angeles Clippers have now officially entered trade discussions with the Minnesota Timberwolves for Jimmy Butler. And some of you guys might remember that the Los Angeles Clips were one of the original teams that Jimmy Butler requested to be traded to. And before now, they had never even called the Wolves about a possible trade. Like I said though, if you're a Clippers fan, don't get your hopes up too much yet, because it's sounding like they too might be backing out of the trade discussion. As Chris Haynes reported this last night, the Timberwolves will prefer to acquire forward Tobias Harris, but the Clippers do not plan to move him. Haynes added Minnesota's asking price has been deemed too high thus far, with multiple players and picks being demanded. The Timberwolves are probably out here asking for Tobias Harris, Lou Williams, Alexander, and a first-round pick for Butler, or something outrageous like that. But guess what? That's not even all of the report we got to cover. As Haynes says that Tibbs still isn't even taking this trade discussion with the Clippers seriously. Haynes cited sources who said the Timberwolves have not fully engaged the Clippers in trade talks because head coach and team president Tom Thibodeau is hopeful he can convince Butler to renege on his trade request. Tom Thibodeau is straight up on game, basically holding Jimmy Butler and the rest of the league hostage. Matter of fact, if you think about it, he's pretty much holding the Minnesota Timberwolves hostage too. They have the most to lose out of this entire situation. So yeah, I'm not expecting a deal to get done anytime soon. If one does happen, it probably won't be up until close to the trade deadline, when Tibbs finally realizes that Jimmy Butler still doesn't want to be there.
First off, I want to get a shout out to the Seattle Storm for holding it down and winning the championship. Much love. On behalf of myself, NBA, and my organization, my teammates, we'd like to thank you guys for coming out, supporting us. I know it's been a rough 10 years. NBA is back in Seattle for tonight, but hopefully it's back forever soon.
There's been a decent amount of talk in the NBA world as of late about the Seattle Supersonics coming back to the NBA. And yesterday, the Warriors actually played an exhibition game in Seattle against the Kings, and the crowd just absolutely went nuts when KD was introduced into the starting lineup and came out wearing a Shawn Kemp jersey.
Durant! Sonic jerseys, Jeff. It's really wild to see, and look what he's wearing as he comes out.
And this just got me thinking. First off, I feel like the NBA might have done this game in Seattle on purpose just to see what the reaction of the crowd in the city would be like, how loudly the crowd would cheer, how many people from the city showed up, etc. Since I really do think that they're thinking of bringing the Sonics back, but wanted to see firsthand how the city of Seattle would react to the games being held in the city again. And I have to say that I think they reacted pretty well, so I don't think it'll be too long before they get their franchise back. And then that also got me thinking that if they do come back within the next 5-ish years, would Kevin Durant consider going back there? I mean, just listen to what he had to say about playing in Seattle again after the game yesterday. When I woke up from my pre-game nap, I was just nervous. I've never felt that way coming into a game, especially a preseason game, but just knowing this whole thing was kind of set up for the moment, I guess, it was just a crazy feeling to come out and feel that much love from the fan base. Also going on to once again voice his support for the Sonics coming back by saying, so many people know what the Sonics culture is, and I think that's something the NBA can't ignore. I think tonight was kind of the cherry on top as far as saying, hey look man, we deserve a team here, we'll support a team, and they need to bring one back. We're going to keep saying it until it happens. All of us here, everybody in the arena, every NBA player knows it. So hopefully the NBA does what it's supposed to do. Look, I think without a doubt in my mind that if the Seattle Supersonics were to make their NBA return, that Kevin Durant would be the first free agent to sign up to play for them again. And it wouldn't matter how good or how bad they were supposed to be. I think he just wants to finish out his career with the Seattle Supersonics. Because like I said, this isn't happening anytime soon, most likely in 4 or 5, maybe 6 years. So he'd be 34, 35, 36 years old, but it would be a really good way for him to finish out his career. Anyways, that is it for all of the main storylines that we have to talk about today. Let me know what you guys thought about all of them down in the comment section below. Also remember to smack the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, with post notifications turned on so you don't miss out on more daily videos. Thank you once again for watching though. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, but until tomorrow, I am out of here. Peace!